Hey, Real Green Ninja here. The video you're about to watch is a supplement to the existing tutorials and help videos already available on the Real Green website. I do take a more casual approach because I'm presenting this information as I would if you called in, although I may have a little fun with it. This video is based upon the information I, as a Real Green technician, would provide using my experience on the help desk. This video was created on my own time to assist with areas of the software that may be waiting for an official help video or tutorial. At the beginning of the training video, I will have the version of the Service Assistant the video was made with. I will also try to be as accurate as possible, but be aware, as Service Assistant updates are released, things may change. I'm using the name Real Green Ninja as not to stand out from the other amazing technicians that I work with. I hope the information in this video helps you, so grab a cup of coffee, and I hope you learn something new. Hey, Real Green Ninja here. Today we're going to do another one of my videos in the customer screen series, so let's begin. Today we're going to talk about the aging tab. So let's go ahead and pull up that client that we've been playing around with for a while now on my other customer screen videos. And we're going to pull this account up. Now, I did mess around with some things. I made some changes, so that way the information in the aging tab will show up and make a little bit more sense. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the aging tab. It's going to be between the property installments tab here. Now, if you do have your installments turned off, then it will be actually the far right tab. So when we go to the aging, you'll see there's a couple different areas. The first one is we have a debit aging balance. And what this is here is this customer owes $112.60, but it doesn't necessarily mean that all the balances are old balances. Some of them might be newer ones, like maybe you did work yesterday, or some of them might be from a while ago. And this is what aging is all about. It breaks up those balances based upon how old the aging, or how old the money is that's owed. Now you'll see in mine I have like 0 to 30 days, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, 91 to 120, and over 120. Yours may be different. Different companies do different things. I actually have one that has all 6 possible aging categories, and they have up to 180 days plus. Now, the aging categories are located under your company parameters general setup. In the general setup, if we go to messages, oops, I'm sorry, if you miss where was that? I'm sorry. If we go to aging statements and invoices, the very first tab, you'll see over on the right-hand side, there's different aging categories here. And again, you can create your own. I can come in here and I can say, you know what? This first one's going to be 0 to 15. This one's going to be the 30 days, and so on and so forth. So again, you can do up to 6 different aging categories. And what's important about that is not only is it how old the money is and so on and so forth, because you want to kind of keep an eye on it, but it also determines whether or not the person goes on credit hold. Like right now, I have my customer setup for residential customers. They can go up to $100 over 30 days, then they'll go on credit hold, which means that if this customer's full $112.60 balance goes above the 30 days, then they're going to be on credit hold. So again, you can fine-tune those credit hold parameters. Also, if you decide to charge interest, you could decide what category you're going to be charging interest in. Now, the very first category would end up being 0 to 15. Now, if I put a check mark here, 15 to 30 or 29 would be that category. So again, like I said, I always tell people play around with them, see how it looks before you make any changes, and especially if you're starting out, don't mess around with it too much. But again, it does have that capabilities. Now, when you age an account, there's a couple different ways you can do it. The first way is hitting this little age account button here, and it will age the account. Okay, and it's just this individual one. Now, if you want to do them in mass, you can go to Financial Age Accounts, and it will go through and it will show you the different aging category breakdowns, as well as how many clients or how many customers are in those categories, as well as the unique total. All right. If you do charge interest, there'll be a little interest checkbox, and again, that's a separate video. But as I was saying, that's where the aging becomes so important. Now, also under the aging tab, you can print a statement. So by hitting this print statement button, it will even warn you if the customers have not aged today. Now, every night when the system runs a manual data backup, part of that backup process is aging the accounts. Now, I don't have mine set up to run backups. Why? Well, because mine's not legitimate data. And I don't care if I lose it or whatever, because I can always grab a newer copy off the memory stick that I used when I loaded it in the first place. But again, like I was saying, is though I'm not too worried. But like I said, though, the system will normally age it. But if you process a lot of payments, you post production, someone goes in there and changes around some of the balance or some of the transaction dates in the history, then that could possibly give you that warning. And again, all it's a matter of you can just go through and just age your accounts. It doesn't hurt anything to age accounts. Now, you don't want to keep charging interest each time because it only lets you do it every 30 days. per account. It's also going to tell you the last time a statement was generated for this customer. Okay, that means it could have been emailed or printed. It could have been printed but never sent out. Again, it's the last time the system generated a statement for this customer. It also tell you the last time this customer was invoiced. So the last invoice service was on 4/26/2015. It will tell you the last time the person was charged interest as well as how much that interest rate was. Over here, under the statement history, it's going to tell you all the times the statements were sent out for this customer. It doesn't actually pull up the actual statement itself. Again, this is just telling you that on 6/7/2015, this customer was generated a statement. Again, doesn't mean you mailed it or whatever. It just means that the system created one. Under collection history, this is going to tell you anytime something had changed on the collection status. All right. Now, in my other video when I was talking about the billing tab, I actually put this customer on credit hold and then took them off credit hold, and it will keep track of that information. All right. So again, under the aging category, or under the aging tab here, it deals with a lot of financial type of stuff. This is also where you can access prepay adjustments. Now, prepay adjustments are for when you need to fix or correct something that's involved with prepay. All right. I always tell everyone, and I even mentioned it a couple times in my other videos, anytime you're doing anything with a customer's balance, always make sure the prepay going forward is where it needs to be. This is where you make that change. All right. So, for example, let's say you put in a customer's prepayment but forgot to allocate it as prepayment. The customer's showing a credit on their account, and you want to make sure it's set up for prepay. We'd come in here and go to prepay adjustments. It's going to show you everything that you could possibly want to or possibly do for this customer, and it may include services from prior seasons. If that's the case, it means the services haven't been skipped out. You can either skip those services out manually so it doesn't show up on the list anymore, or you can run a utility called skip service utility. Say, I want to grab all these services that were in 2014. If they're Y status, put them in skip status. But again, that's one of those things that you normally do when you're doing your year-end renewals, is skipping out the mass skipping services. Again, I do plan to do a video talking about renewals when it gets closer to that time of the year. All right. If you need to fix something, so for example, let's say this customer decides he doesn't want the correlation. All right. All you'd have to do is just disconnect the discount, and you'll see it's going to drop that money down towards the credit remit box if I hit apply these changes. All right. So again, you can play around with it and do things, but until you hit apply these changes, nothing has been permanent. Now, once you hit it, it's going to generate an adjustment if you have moved some money around, because it is moving money from prepay to credit remit or vice versa. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel right now. So again, if you need to fix a prepay, it's going to be located on this prepay adjustments button. It also give you your net balance, your prepay balance, and your remit balance. Keep in mind, this is the same fields as on the main customer screen and the billing tab. Again, this is telling you how much the customer owes you or you owe them. It will say credit if you actually owe them money there. It will tell you how much money is sitting aside in the prepay. Now, again, keep in mind, this is money the customer's given you. So even though accounting-wise, technically, yes, it's still a credit, we keep track of it separately simply because it is special money set aside for services. And then it will give you your net balance. Again, your net balance is the sum of these two balances. It's saying if this customer decides to cancel their account, or you decide to close up shop or whatever, technically this customer would owe you $75, because right now they owe you $112.60, but you're holding on to $37.60 up for them for that aeration, and again, the net balance would end up being $75. All right. You also have this little pile of gold coins, which as with other parts of the software, it pretty much takes you to the payment screen for this customer, and then you can go through and process the payment and stuff like that. So again, that's pretty much a tour of the aging tab. I hope that helps. You guys have yourself a wonderful day.